Hey, I'm Wit, and welcome to my channel, Becoming Wit. So this video is kind of just focusing on something that I've had on my heart for like a really long time, and I figured it was about time to kind of share this with the inner sphere. Basically, it's about the topic of being a single Christian woman and how to handle that. And don't think I'm gonna come and give you some expert advice, because I'm still just struggling along like every other Christian single girl out there. But there was one thing that I kind of thought about that God kind of revealed to me when I was in college. And there are times where I just get so frustrated because I feel like I'm just waiting on God. And I have these moments where I'm just like, okay, so what am I supposed to be doing while I'm waiting? And I know there are all these other things that, prepare to be a wife, learn to cook, which I don't know how to do, learn to clean, which I also don't really do. I have a lot of things I need to work on to become that woman that I want to be for my future husband. But I think that there are some more, spiritual things that we could do while we're waiting. And it happened, this kind of revelation came to me when I was in college, and I was just in my dorm room alone and just having this moment, trying to figure out what I'm supposed to be doing while I'm waiting. Because at that point in college, I had already read I Kissed Dating Goodbye and When God Writes Your Love Story. So I was already sold on the fact that my love story was God's and God's alone. So only He could write it. And so I was so surrendered to that. But I still was just struggling with how to handle just the waiting, especially in college, and everybody's all coupled up and everything else is going on. So I'm just like, how do I handle this that's in my face right now? And so I stumbled across a website called boundless.org, which is a really great resource for young adults in their 20s, early 30s, who are just trying to navigate life as Christians. On this blog, I found an article titled Praying Boldly. And I can't remember who wrote it. It might have been Candace Waters, but I'm not quite sure. But it was about basically praying boldly for your husband. And at the time, I thought that was a little weird, like praying for a husband, like asking God to give you a husband, or even asking God for specific characteristics in a husband just didn't seem right to me. And now when I think about it, it seems crazy. Like, why wouldn't you pray? Why wouldn't you ask God, like the giver of all gifts, what you want and just wait for Him to give it to you? But at the time, I wasn't quite sold on it. So I remember reading through the article and just thinking that it was a good article, but still being kind of weary. And I think after I read it, I even prayed, like, God, is this even something we're supposed to do? Pray for a husband? Like, is that against the rules? I'm not quite sure how this works. And so I kind of prayed about that and still continued to read through the blog and seeing what else they had. And then I remember maybe about 2 days after reading that blog post and kind of praying that prayer, I went to my school's library and I wanted to go to the Christian section. And of course, like, my school's library was 8 floors, but it only had like one shelf dedicated to Christian life. Yeah. So anyways, this was a shelf that I had been to multiple times before. I was always on this section just trying to find anything I could to just navigate my Christian life in college. And the thing about this shelf, this section of Christianity, was that everything was written probably in like 1990, early 2000. Everything just really had like an old look to it, which is fine. I still got some great resources from there, like devotionals and things like that. But everything was just really, really outdated. And so this one time while I'm walking down this aisle, I'm just seeing the same old books that I normally always see. This really bright, colorful book catches my eye towards the very bottom of the shelf. Like I said, all these books are old. Everything's like brown and black and just that typical library look in books. But this one colorful, like blue and pink book at the very bottom of the shelf caught my eye. And so naturally, I bent down just to see what this is, because it's just so pretty. And then I look at it, and the title of it is Praying for Your Future Husband. Coincidence? I think not. How unusual for me to walk down this aisle that I'm always on the day after, 2 days after I prayed this prayer about praying for my future husband, and find this book called Praying for Your Future Husband. Now, I'm kind of slow and it takes me a while to get things, and I feel like God knows that. So of course he gives me a book titled Praying for Your Future Husband. Just lay it out for me, God, lay it out for me. And so I grab it and I even kind of laugh a little bit because I know at that moment that this is directly from God. So I check it out, I read it within 2 days, and I just absorb so much information. So the cool thing about this book is that while you're going through it, it's giving you a list of characteristics basically that you need to pray for in your husband as a man of God. But there are also things that you need to pray for yourself as a woman of God. I mean, how can I pray for my husband to be this extreme prayer warrior and I'm not even that? And this book will cover that. It will tell you all the areas in your life where you probably need to improve so that you can be that woman of God that you want to be, and so that you will know when God gives you that man of God that you've been asking for.